Hello again. And here we are, a day later. So I wanted to get back out to lane 60, the super clip blocked hyper over under lane, and bring my urethane back and see if we could figure something out. So what we basically learned was that the urethane was so strong and so early that if I tried to play outside in the dry, then it kind of died out and didn't have much energy at the pins. If I missed a little right, it didn't come back. If I hit just right, it hit weakly. And if I missed a little inside in the oil, nothing. Not a damn thing. So, since I have this limited area of play, which is basically the 7-board, 6-board area, rather than be defeated, I said, what if I take a urethane ball, or urethane balls, and I try to optimize them for playing on a house shot. So I took one of my best balls here, which is the red hammer. You can see where the pin is. It's way over there, right? What I did is I took it up to 3,000 grit. So before everything was at 2,000, so now I've taken this to 3,000. Then I went to the least effective ball, which was the U-motion. That was also at 2,000. It seemed to just die out and barely make it to the pocket. I took it up to 4,000. Yep, nice and shiny now, 4,000. So the idea is by taking these balls to a higher grit, perhaps they can retain energy, but I still will be playing in that 6-7 board area, but they'll be more effective, have better hit, better carry. So 4,000 on the U-motion, 3,000 on the red hammer. Then I brought this ball, which you can see, the pin is way over there, just like on my red hammer. This is the new Rotogrip RG Spare. It is a very, very hard polyester urethane ball. It's basically 84. So you see that people are talking about, oh, soft urethanes hook too much and hard urethanes don't hook at all. Well, since these lanes are so dry on the outside, I thought, what if I take a super hard ball, like an 84 ball, basically like a rubber ball hardness from the old days. But what I did is I hit it with 500 grit. So you see that new IQ U78 is 500 grit at 78. This is 84, even harder. So I said, fine, I'll put 500 on it and we'll see if it's usable. Then, just for the heck of it, I brought some vintage balls. So this is my Brunswick Grizz at 1,000 grit with a simple label layout. What is a label layout? The label is put in the center of the palm. That is where the CG is, located in the center of the label. Then I have an extremely rare and unique ball, the Cobalt Rhino, the last of the great pancake weight block urethane balls. I have this one at 1,500 grit. And this one is at 1,000. These are old school balls. These balls were designed for an era of bowling when there was less oil on the lane. So in this era, there was about 7 mils of oil. But in the modern era, on house shots, they usually have 22 mils. So think about how much less oil that was for these balls. Maybe these balls will actually perform for me on a house shot, where these modern balls are simply too strong to perform. But maybe this one might be okay. Well, let me get them oiled up. I'm going to throw them up the middle of the lane on the left side so I don't affect my shot. And then I'm going to start throwing and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I took all the bowling balls and I threw them up the left side of the lane, got tons of oil on them, wiped them down, smeared the oil around, and now we're ready to get to business. So, let us begin with the U-motion. The U-motion is at 4,000 grit. I'm going to stand on 5 and throw on 7. Just the same thing I did last time. Just a nice little starting point. Let's just see what it does. Okay, so it got further up the lane. See that? It didn't roll out early. It actually went too far. That's very interesting. Very interesting. that tells me I can already move further right. All right, let's take the red hammer at 3,000, and let's see what it does on the same spot. So once again, standing 5 and targeting 7. Let's see what we get. Oh, well, first of all, you cannot drop the ball out of your hand. That's the first problem. Wait, how did that strike? I literally dropped the ball like it fell right out of my hand. My thumb is a little slick right now. Okay, I have no idea what happened because I didn't watch it because it was such a terrible shot. Let's try that again. So I'll have to review the video to see, like, okay, how can you drop the ball and strike? That makes no sense. All right, let's try this again. 5, 7. See what we get. There you go, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, it struck, but it came in really late. Okay, so what have we seen? We're seeing that where before, at 2,000 grit, these balls are like way too strong for this pattern. And they were like digging in so early and then just expending all their energy in the front and then just kind of making a token move to the pocket where they just deflected off the pocket and left like single pins, splits, whatever, and maybe sometimes there's strike, but it was a terrible strike. Now we're seeing these balls are actually going longer and they're not coming in as soon. So because I'm a full roller and I throw the ball very straight and I have low revs, I cannot move left, throw right, get the ball to curl around the lane like Belmo. I'm basically have to throw to the pocket, right? Very direct. Very from the outside to the inside, down and in as they called it. So I need my balls to have surface and layouts that optimize the area of the lane I need to play to be successful. So based on what we saw there, I'm going to move further right. So I was on 5, now I'm going to go to 4. And I'm actually going to move my target out to 6 now. So we're going to do that 4-6 thing. Okay, so I missed right, and it didn't come back. But you can see it didn't come back because I missed right, not because the ball died out. You can see that it really didn't die out. It was trying to make it across. That was the U motion, by the way. All right, so let's try the red hammer, and I'm wiping the balls to get the oil off on each shot. So let's do that 4-6 thing. Standing on 4, targeting 6. Let's see if I can hit my target. There you go, that's a beautiful shot. Look at that. Look at that. See how nice that is? Okay. So this is what you want out of urethane. At least if you're a bowler, a straighter bowler like myself, you want to be able to get to the outside and throw to the pocket. You're basically playing it like a short pattern, but you're playing a house shot like a short pattern. Why would you want to do that? Well, with urethane, you basically, this is what you're looking for. You want the ball to read the front, but then hook continuously through the full length of the lane. You basically want it to dig in and then slowly start walking across in a continuous manner, not losing any energy, until it finally reaches the pocket and drives through. This is the way we played it in the 80s. We got out, we threw it out the outside, and then we just let it walk across, right? And that's that. Why would you want to do that with urethane on a house shot if you're a straighter bowler like myself? You never know what kind of crap is in the middle, right? But you always know that the outsides are going to be pretty much not much oil. If you can optimize your balls to play in an area of the lane, the outside, which is pretty much the same all the time, not much oil, then you know you will have a consistent shot. And most other bowlers with resin and other things, they don't get out there. They don't like to play on the outside. So once again, here we go. So I'm going to stand on 4, and I'm going to target 6, and I have the U motion at 4,000 grit. There it is. What's it going to do? It's going to come in a slight fraction high. But you can see, look at all the energy on that ball. Look how it drives through the pins. It's not bouncing off, it's not deflecting. So by simply raising the grit on these urethane balls, we went from the previous video where it was just a nightmare, right? You like dying on the right and not hooking on the left, and you can't even, and I had basically a 2-board area, 6-7 board, right? And I'm kind of trapped in that area, right? So I can't, but the balls were not optimized for that area, so they weren't playing very well. So now, I'm going to take the U motion again and try that same shot. But now I'm going to move my foot one back. So while I was doing 4-6, now I'm going to do 5-6. And I'm doing that because it looked like the ball went a little high. So let's see if I can hold it off. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can't throw to the 2-board and expect anything of interest, unless I'm like way further right, and I could throw in the 2-board if I wanted to do that. Okay, so that was a horrible shot. I missed to the right, and the result is basically that. So we'll get rid of that, and let's try this again. So once again, back to the U motion. We're trying to make a good shot with it, and I am wiping the ball, wiping all these balls. So here we go again. So we're standing 5, throwing 6. And it's just a matter of accuracy now. Here we go. 5-6. There it is. Beautiful. What are you going to do? It kind of didn't really come back, did it? It went awfully straight, though. Threw it a little faster. So now I'm getting into this situation where I'm not getting the ball reacting very well. So what would I normally do in a situation like this? First of all, I'm going back to the U motion, so I'm going to, the ball's getting much oilier now, much oilier now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back. So let's go back to that 4-6. Maybe it was just a matter of the ball getting more oil on it. Let's see what we have now. Back to 4-6. That's kind of 5. Yeah, it was too far out there. So even though it came back, it didn't make it all the way back. So the ball is not reading the lane early enough now. See, so that's the problem now. So by taking the surface up to 4,000, the ball basically is now it's going too long. So what's the adjustment for that? Well, I would say move further right. So now I was on, I'm going to go 3-board. I'm going to stand on 3 and target 6. Now I'm way out to the right here. Kind of like that. Oh, really? I got a messenger? Little 135 RPM, full roller, bowling the ball perfectly straight from the outside, gets a senior messenger? Okay. I can deal with that. I'm happy with that. Okay. I took a little break there for a second because I wanted to readjust the camera so I get, since I'm going to be playing further from the right, it seems, I needed the camera to be further off to the right so that you could still see the ball. So here we go. I'm back with U motion. I'm on 5, 4, 3. I'm going to 2-board. I'm going to stand on 2. Standing on 2. And I'm going to still try to target 6. Like that. Oh, come on. Why is this ball not striking? I mean, what's a man got to do, right? I'm literally like throwing it right in. Those are like good shots, too. Okay. So that ball is just not winning the day for me, but I am getting to the pocket consistently, and it does have energy. Let's go back to the red hammer, and we will go back to standing on 5, targeting 6, just to see, okay? This is at 3,000 grit, a stronger ball, should be earlier and smoother. There you go. Hold. Yeah, you see how great that is? All right, so that's your, so the red hammer is purple hammer cover stock, but it's slightly harder. It's 73. That was when initially when people started getting the scares and the boogeyman and all this about soft urethane, all that BS. So they raised the hardness to 73 on this ball. Big deal, right? Doesn't really matter. It has an asymmetric core. It has that quantum core, which is basically like a mushroom, kind of elongated though. So it's a very long core. It has very high RG. It's like 260 something. And the diff is like very small, like in the 30s or something like that. And I have a pin pass pap layout, which reduces the differential and gives the ball more, it's cleaner through the front and gives it more continuation in the back. It's at 3,000. And it's a two-piece ball, meaning that it's just solid urethane cover stock and core, so there's no filler, so it hits really hard. Let's try that again. So we're going to go 5, 6. That's kind of like 5, but will it make a difference? Almost an 8-10. Yeah, it kind of made a difference. Yeah, didn't it? Okay, but that's just, and I hit 5, so it was a little in that dry, and it was a little delayed coming back. It still had energy, though. You could see that. It still had energy. It just was a little delayed and didn't quite get up as high to the pocket as I wanted, simply because it was a miss a little right. So now let's try to not miss a little right. Again, we're standing on 5, targeting 6. And I think 3,000 on this ball for a house shot is pretty good for playing this target. There you go, that's really nice. Is it going to hold though? It does. It does, and it strikes hard.
31 to 32.
So there you have it. So that's a really, really, really good ball. So once I raise the grid up to 3,000, now I can live on the outside and do the urethane thing, which is basically throw the ball right to the pocket. Now, let's try, just for the heck of it, I have this RG spare. Now this is an 84 hardness ball, it's like super hard, right? So it's like a spare ball, right? It's designed to be indestructible, not hook. But I put 500 on it. Now, we remember 2,000 on those other balls was like ridiculous. They would die out. But this ball being so hard, I'm wondering if 500, if it's actually usable. So I'm going to stand on 5 and play 6, just like I did with the red hammer. Yeah. Now you could see that ball was just not reading the lane. It was just going point, point, point. It was rotating down the lane, but then it wasn't actually reading the lane. So to use that ball, even at 500 grit on a house shot, is going to be, I'm going to have to stand way right. In fact, let's try that. So, and you know, the ball has a little oil on it when it came back because it wasn't really in the oil, right? It was in the dry. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are probably going to block the camera because I'm going to do something crazy that most people don't do on a house shot. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm standing on 0 board, and I'm going to be targeting 5. Standing on 0, targeting 5. There. And at least a 10. Okay. And it still kind of didn't get up. But you can see that I can get over there and hit the pocket all day if I do that. Doesn't mean I'm going to strike, but let's try it again. And actually, rather than force the ball to try to come back, I'm going to aim further left while still standing out there. So let's do that again. We're going to go, I'm standing on 0. And I'm going to target 6. So I mean, I'm like going right at the pocket, right? There, just like that. Still did that. So you can see that ball is not very effective. It's just too weak. I mean, again, I can stand right and like go all day at the pocket, but you know, we're not going to get any strikes doing that. So there you have it. So we've learned that the U motion is maybe maybe 4000 was a little too slick. The red hammer is just utter genius. But now, let's go with some vintage. So I got my grizz here, 1000 grit, pancake wake block, CG dead center, and I'm going to stand on 5 and target 7. I'm just going to try a normal shot. Okay, so I missed a little inside. Hit that oil, just kind of went straight. That's normal, what you expect with a urethane ball. When you have a rev rate as low as I have, if you hit that oil, you're in trouble, right? Let's try it again. So I'm wiping the ball. There we go. So I'm going to stand 5, throw 7. I think if I hit 7, it might work, but let's find out. So here we go. There you go. Oh, that's kind of like out a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's just not, even in that further dry, it's just not grabbing. It's a very weak ball by modern standards, so it's not digging in early enough to walk across the length. So now with a ball like this, it's very similar to the RG. It's forcing me to get further outside. Now the RG wouldn't strike from outside. It would hit the pocket pretty good, but it just didn't have anything to knock the pins out. So let's try it with the grizz. So we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to go to the 2 board. 2, 6. Standing on 2, targeting 6. There you go. Perfect shot. You can see it came in late. It came in late. Barely got the 5 out. It probably would have been a 5-7. All right. So it doesn't want to strike from that angle. What do? We're going to move further right with our foot. So we're on 2. Let's go to 1. 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. We're standing on 1 board. Still targeting 6. There you go. What's it going to do? Nope, it's going to leave a 10. See, it's the same thing. So it's a combination of factors here. Basically, I'm playing pretty far out, and so it is dry out there. And the balls are reading the lane, but they just don't have the oomph to get through the pins. They just don't have the continuation. All right. All right, is this thing going to reset? Oh, yeah, it's okay. Let's bring out one of the big guns here. All right. I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. The Cobalt Rhino. This was the strongest pancake weight block ball they made in the Rhino series before they discontinued it. I'm going to stand on 6. Wait, 5, 4. I'm sorry, 4. 4. And I'm going to target 7 down and in with a nice smooth shot. Okay. So you saw that it did read the lane. It made it down there, but it still left that 10 pin. So we're seeing a similar effect from the RG, the U motion, and the Grizz, and even the Cobalt. They're having difficulty getting that 10 out. Now I did throw it on 7. So let's try moving my target out a little bit. So once again, we're going to go 5. I'm going to stand on 4. Right? 5, 4. Yeah, I'm standing on 4. I'm targeting 6 with the Cobalt. That's more like 5. And see, it just deflects. Okay, So that ball, you can see that ball, that's back to the urethane's losing energy. So by playing this far out, I'm actually killing the balls on the way to the pins. So it's not retaining energy like the red hammer, because the red hammer is a pearl, and it really scoots through the front and really reads the back hard. It's very resin ball-like. That's why it's performing so well. These other ones are performing more like urethane. So let's do this. I'm going back to 6 with the cobalt. I'm sorry, 2, 4, 6, 4. I'm standing on 4. I'm going to target 7 again. I'm going to aim more direct. There, that's better. But you can see it's still, it's like struggling to get over there. Struggling to get over there. So now we're in a situation where there's sufficient oil and dry that it's making it difficult to get the ball high enough on the pocket to strike. Let's try something else. So I'm going to go back to standing on 4. But now I'm going to move my target even further in. I'm going to go right up 8 board. So this is an extremely direct shot. Like that. And you can just see there's too much oil. Too much oil. So the ball just scoots down the lane doing nothing. Very unfortunate. So I'm not able to get this thing to strike. It's very annoying. All right, let's try one more time. So here we go, Cobalt Rhino. What am I going to do here? 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm standing on 2 board, targeting 6 with the Cobalt. There, that's got to strike. Come on. Wow, barely. I mean, I'm throwing so direct. That's crazy. So I'm basically forcing the ball to the pocket. So I was standing on 2 board, targeting 6 board. That's a very direct angle. I think from the camera view you can see like how right at him I am. And I think that I can, based on that shot, I can even move my foot one more right. So let's do that. So let's go to the 1 board. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing on 1, targeting 6. This is like as direct as they get, my friend. There, look at that. Hello, pocket. I mean, literally direct to the pocket, right? But you got to be very accurate to be able to just do that all day, right? I'm not good enough to just like hit that target over and over and over and over and over. And actually, based on that shot, I hit everything I wanted. I did everything the way I wanted it to, and it was a fraction high. You saw that 7 go late. The ball was a little high on the pocket. So that tells me that if I really want to be perfect, I need to move back left half a board. But I'm kind of liking playing like this. You know, it's fun. It's fun to play the house shot with a ball that no one else uses in a way that no one else would dare do, because it's just impossible for them to do because their balls are so strong, they have too many revs, all this kind of stuff. So let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5. So here we go, 1.5. Playing that 6 board. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh, that's 4. Yeah, so it hit the dry and just bleh, instant ball death. It's so dry from the gutter to 5 that anything over there is going to, even this ball, even loaded with oil, is going to burn off like immediately, right? It's just not going to make it back. Let's do 1.5 with the grizz on 6. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5. Okay, standing 1.5, targeting 6 with the grizz. There you go. What's it going to do? Oh, that was really a nice shot, too. It probably snuck a fraction high because that 7 was there, but you know, it's good. So basically you're seeing if I stand way the hell out there and throw way the hell left, I can force these balls to do work. But let's go back to the ball that didn't seem like it needed much work, which is the red hammer. So these other balls I got to split boards. On this ball it didn't seem so much. So I'm going to stand on 5. So I'm going way back. So I've gone back 5 boards, right? And I'm going to target 7. What the hell? Why not? Let's just see what happens. There's 7. What's it going to do? It's going to do that. That is a horrible result. But again, I'm throwing further left into the oil, and the lane does have a fair amount of oil today. So, hasn't been bowled on. It's a typical house shot. Yesterday was probably a little drier than today, but let's just make the adjustment, right? Whoops, let's get rid of this. Okay, so now I just move my foot 1 right. So instead of 5-7, I'm going to go 4-7 and just see if that's enough to make the difference. What's it going to do? I did miss like a half a board inside on that. So it came up a little high, but you can see that it's already good. The ball's already driving. It's working really well on this house shot. 3000 grit on the red hammer is seemingly to be very, 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 very good. I'm very pleased with its control, smoothness, accuracy. All right, let's try this again. So we're going to go 4, standing on 4, targeting 7, and try to hit it a little better this time. Oh, maybe. Yeah, kind of dropped it at the bottom a little bit. Didn't really, and maybe missed like a quarter board left. Again, I'm hitting the pocket, leaving makeables, but ideally, we don't want to be that far left with urethane. We need our target to be more in the dry. So 7's got a fraction too much oil at this point. Maybe some carry down. So I'm going to go back to 4, but I'm going to target 6 instead of 7. Uh-oh. Yeah, I could see that was a 10 pin all day. Missed a little right. Hit that dry, kind of died.